David Erdos with poem 20 from the COVIDIan Age, in reply. Walking in the street yesterday, a man and his wife near pushed themselves into a wall to avoid me. Doubling back, I observed them do the same thing to a boy on a bike passing by. It wasn't the movement so much as the attitude that informed them. If you want to avoid others, I countered while passing, wear a mask. Only to hear his mocking, passive-aggressive, "Have a nice day," in reply. Such are the wars we now fight, and not just with the climate. For the true divisions have opened, as if you could incur some form of paper cut on the soul. People have proved themselves thin, despite the pressing weight of precaution, where everyone outside of your, what used to be called circle, now bubble, are potential threats. Not of COVID, but of what the seeming status quo tries to hold. Which is exactly what, 2 weeks on, as we ease ourselves backwards into freedom, filling the shops while maintaining predestined exit routes across floors which are as meaningless as the laws that resemble the drafts of bad poems. Blank verse, free from both rhyme or reason, which as soon as it's written, gives life to nothing, not even a phantom, or at the very best, pregnant pause. Life has become premature, as what was once cultivated has been given up for adoption in some parallel universe where perhaps another breed of people will have learned how to live and to trust one another, and where God knows they are guided towards a well-formed cause, free from curse. However, here I smell hex, the pill in the pint, lager covers, or the tincture within whiskey, or vodka version, or possible germ in the gin that none can detect, but which is distilling inside a new flavour and changing the texture. For as blood colours thought, rage begins. That couple's continued flinch on the street is just one example. Another is the wary eye we're unpeeling as we cyclops or walk side by side, or sit on empty trains caged by masks while few outside care to wear them. And time itself becomes mongrel, mixed messages blurring each new day we're birthing, while the old lay untended and still falling prey, fail and die. What are we avoiding, and why? These are the questions. Is it perhaps the true fate we fear coming, as a summer is sanctioned before the winter cold seals once more? Or some greater fear, that we may never again be the drummer of the special rhythm we cherished and which saw us all marching out and past our locked doors? I think of that couple's flinch even now, and in their step I have measured the continued distance of people and the oceans that swell between friends. Needing company, I talked to one last night, and he mentioned a mental list he was making of those he could no longer trust, and those he felt close to, and for whom, both eyes open, the self-same love and sense of trust could defend. Do the apples fall where they may? Or was Isaac Newton always the target? Has there always in fact been a market in which our fast descent was declared? For just as gravity pulls, our own gravitas falls relinquished, as we recover from the striking of an invisible hand in the air. That very slap saw a slump, but now we scale the wall, bruised and bracing, for the next unseen challenge that we may not know how to fight. We are already practicing on ourselves as anxiety sets us racing towards a finish line on a minefield or on dark water, which may only absorb once prized light. And yet, we still swim, despite fears of drowning. We leave our homes to recapture what we had before on the beach. We honour the sun without knowing what its eventual glare may deliver, and retrain our hands for a touching which may yet remain out of reach. We are feeling the future like Braille, without ostensibly being blinded, unsure of the ascents at our fingers and unschooled in each small peak and trough. The ground may give way, but still we carry on walking. And yet I do fear our guide dogs, for unlike those Labradors, it's our politicians and neighbours who should breathe and walk now beside us, healing a world torn asunder by the weapons in wind, word and cough. The answer is there. We just need to ask a fresh question. Only when we do comes communion and a clearing path through this darkness. Then we may all walk on water, gods grown in our image, seeding life in deep oceans, as well as ensuring that the touch we've all longed for is once more returned to the soft. David Erdos, July the 16th, 2020.